What is going on, YouTube family? Welcome back to another episode of NAS100 analysis. Today, I hope you guys have had an amazing trading week. I had a really good trading week this week, right? There were opportunities where I could have made like really big gains, but I had to settle with the small gains that I made. I didn't take any losses, which is fantastic, okay? But at the same time, there was a lot of things I could have done much better. I'm going to do my utmost to explain all of that to you, as well as go with where I think market is going to go for this week coming, right? So this week coming, which is going to be from the 2nd of October, I believe, right? So I've already brought in the separator to separate week commencing the 18th away from week commencing the 25th, right? And when we did a video, we was mainly focused on this area right here. Okay, so we've mainly focused on this area right here, and this situation here hadn't taken place. So I've already gone over what took place here, so I'm not going to do that, just to keep the video straight to the point, right? And also, if you haven't done so already, I believe you're going to find the content in this video super useful. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification, and drop us a like, right? And if you want to be super awesome, drop me a super thanks as well, okay? That would be appreciated, because don't forget, I'm doing the work for you. And if you're winning from it, why don't you just say thank you? Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, but at the end of the day, I'm going to leave that with you. I'll leave that with you, okay? So let's just get on with what is happening for what I did week just gone, so week commencing the 25th, and what I plan to do moving forward for the month of October, okay, or the first week of October. All right, so in the last video that I did, right, I talked about the low of the week of last week, not last week, which is week commencing the 18th, which was this over here. That was the low of the week, as well as the high of that day, which was the Friday, and this was this point over here. And I basically mentioned, right, okay, if we get a break in any one of those directions, okay, right, market was most likely going to be moving in that direction for a little while. Okay, now my overall bias in these videos that I've been creating for you, especially in about, say, the last 2 months, has been that I'm downward facing. Okay, I am still downward facing, but I did take a buy. If market shows me that it's going up, right, so it's going into a bullish trend, I will take positions, right? But where I will add on size, right, is when it starts to break down, because I believe the biggest profits for myself is when market will be dropping, because I believe that this is a very strong downtrend that we're in at the moment, and I'm going to go back a little and just obviously illustrate that to you again in regards to why I'm taking that position. But first things first, we want to get on with what I'm basically trying to say in regards to the moves that I made for this week. So on a Monday, I broke my own rule, right, and I FOMO'd into a position, right? I don't know why I did it. It's like I just woke up in the morning, I saw it, and I was like, oh yeah, let's do it. It's going to work out. So what I did was, right, I put in a sell at this level right here. So I put in a sell at this level right here, okay, right? And market went down, came up, and my trading stop was triggered, and then I got closed out of it, right? And I didn't get back into the market until Thursday. So Thursday was when I got back into the market again, and I held it up until Friday, and then I hopped out on a Friday, right? So let me explain where I screwed up the entire Monday trade. Even though I was profitable, I could have executed it a lot better. All right, so this is what I should have done. Instead of taking the sell over here, I should have waited, okay? Because once I got the confirmation down here, okay, I could have taken a sell either here or here or here, and then I would have pretty much gotten all of this. And even if I brought in a trading stop, I would have gotten way more than I got in this area over here, right? So I broke my own rules, and I FOMO'd into a situation that I should not have FOMO'd into, right? Obviously, we live and we learn. So I was closed out around this level over here. Let me just put a little bubble on it. So I closed out about over here, right, with a small bit of profit, and I didn't do anything else, because the vibe that I had for week just gone, so that's this week over here, right, was that I believed at some point that price was going to start reversing, right? So although I could have jumped back in on the Tuesday, I chose not to. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to wait and see what price is going to do, and then once it turns around to say that it's going to start reversing, that's when I'm actually going to jump in and try to take advantage of the situation, right? That was my plan, and it was a good plan. It was a good plan, right? So what did I do? So basically what I did was I waited. So I didn't do anything on a Tuesday and I didn't do anything on the Wednesday. But Wednesday was when I got the signal that I was looking for, that price was going to be reversing. Now remember, this is still a downtrend, okay? So if you're looking on a 1 hour, yes, price is going up, but ultimately it's going to collapse at some point, in my opinion. And once again, not financial advisor, I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm just going off the vibe that I'm going off right now, that I believe that price is going to collapse at some point and start pulling downwards. And when it does, that's when I'm going to be adding on size, right? So getting back to how I moved last week. So what happened was, at the end of Wednesday, I could see that we had a close right here, okay, right? And this is mainly a swing trading move that I take. So it's a swing trading move, right? But it's not necessarily the overall move for the big moves. This is not the strategy I use for the big moves. This is a strategy that I use just to help me get by, just to make sure that at least I'm bringing something in, right, over the course of the day. So what I noticed was, right, that this was the new low. Right, so first I thought the low point of the week was over here. It turned out not to be the case. And then I thought this was the low point of the week, and it turned out to be the case. But obviously on the Wednesday, I didn't know that until we got to Friday. That was when I could clearly see that this is clearly the low of the week. So what happened was, as soon as price closed above these high, okay, what I did was I took a position on the Thursday right here, right? And remember what I said in the last video, if you go in at 100%, okay, after the prices close over a high, you need to hold the whole thing at the bottom as your stop loss. So I can't put my stop loss over here, and I can't put and I have to put my stop loss over here, right? This is a terrible place to put a stop. This would be the best place to put a stop. It is larger, but if I want to secure the trade, this is what I must do. It didn't go that low, which is cool, right? It went up a little bit higher, right, which is great. So on the Friday, obviously, price was trickling up, which is cool, right? And then we got to this point where we had a pullback and then a push to the upside. So I identified this area as a very good location to bring in a trailing stop, right? And I'm glad I did. Right? Other than that, not only would this have wiped me out, but it would have wiped out the gains I made in this area, so I would have had a losing week. So price went up, right? And then it started to collapse towards the end of the Friday, and it triggered me out. I had a small bit of profit. It could have been way better, but bottom line is I'd rather gain than lose. So all of last week for me was a good trading week, right? A good trading week. We made nice gains, but however, it could have been a lot more. Had I taken the sell from this location, I would have gotten all of that, okay? And with the buy, this was the only location I could take the buy, right? Because I wasn't going to start buying from over here because it wasn't clear. It wasn't clear. Yes, this is an inverted head and shoulders, right? But however, it still was not clear, because the bias that I felt in regards to the direction the market was moving was that it was still a downtrend. And if it hadn't given a confirmation, I wasn't going to be taking any guesses. I've already done it over here, and it worked out, but it didn't work out too good. So I learned that lesson, and I wasn't going to do that over here. So I was like, look, once it breaks, I will take a position. I will hold all of that. If my concept is correct, I shouldn't lose if I bring in the correct risk management. And I had the correct risk management in the sense of I brought in a trading stop just to make sure that whatever happens, I didn't lose too much, and it worked in my favor. So that is fantastic. We had a really, really good result, and I'm overall happy with that. So we're going to clear all this off right now, and then we're going to get about the business as to where we think price is going to go for the week commencing the 2nd of October. All right, so we're going to keep this bottom low in place, and obviously we're just going to move this back, right? Actually, as a matter of fact, we don't even need this. Right? We don't even need this. So this low over here has been correctly identified by myself, right? Because no one else did it, it's me, right? That this is the low of the week, and this over here is the high of the week, right? Over here is the high of the week. Now, once again, like I've been saying, right? I am waiting for price to break one of these levels. That's all I'm waiting for. Price to break one of these levels. And once it does, then I will then be looking to start taking positions, right? So in my case right here, right, I'm waiting for the low of the day, which is the low of the Friday, to be taken out. Right, the low of the Friday to be taken out. If I get the high of the week taken out, then I am going to assume the price is going to be pushing up a little bit higher. Okay, I can expect price to try to make his way back up to the major level before he decides to try to do anything else. And remember, this high of the week hasn't taken out any major highs of the week. We're still currently following the standard trend of the highs of the week being lower and lower and lower, and the lows of the weeks are the ones that are being taken out. So low of the week over here was taken out last week, and it went all the way down here, okay, right? And then it has pushed up, okay, but it actually hasn't taken out a high of a week, right? It hasn't taken a high of a week. So my overall bias in being downward facing, in my opinion, is the correct view, and that is the view that I'm taking. But however, if I do see an opportunity for a massive push to the upside, I am going to seize that opportunity. Why should I leave coins on the table, right? I need to get them. I need to get it. So that's what I'll do. I'll make sure I get as much coins as possible. So that's the rules for next week, really, right? That is the rules for next week. And just to like reinforce that a little bit more, let's bring in my other chart, because there ain't too much drawings on that chart. Let's bring in that other chart, okay, right? So remember I was saying that there's a good chance that it could bounce from this level, right? It looks like we've got that. So it went through. So it went through the level. Actually, let's get the daily vibe back. The daily vibe. I like that word, the daily vibe. That actually could be a newspaper, right? The daily vibe, right? So it started to push up from there, okay? So it started to push up, which is cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait to see what happens on Monday next week, right? See if you get a signal, or see if I get a signal on a Monday. If I don't get the signal on a Monday, then I'll wait for Tuesday. Hopefully I'll get the signal on a Tuesday, and then once I do, then I would know what to do. But like I said, this is where it's at the moment. Like, guys, look at it. It's clear as day. This is where it's at the moment, okay? Yes, it could break out of this, but what are the chances it's going to do that? What are the chances it's going to do that? Do you know what I mean? And if it doesn't break out, fantastic, because this over here is a monthly high. This is a monthly high, just like this is a monthly high. So if it breaks out of this level over here, at least we know that to some degree the good old days are back. And when I'm talking about the good old days, I'm talking about all of this, when basically you could trade the NAS blindfolded, right? Like, if you guys want to know why NAS is so famous, right, why everybody loves trading NAS, it's because of all of this, right? You didn't need any skill to be able to trade the NAS at all. At all. You had one job: buy NAS. That's it. Never sell. This over here is where the big boys are being made. This is where the real traders are being created right now, with the craziness that's taking place right here. Once you discover how to navigate this whole situation, I promise you there is not going to be a chart on the planet that you cannot navigate and successfully trade. And I'm going to be brutally honest with you, right? Okay, I was doing great. So from here to about here, right, was when roughly I think I started my YouTube channel, right? So I was doing good. This is what gave me the confidence to be like, okay, yeah, you can come on YouTube and tell everybody how to do business, right? Because you're successful, woo, 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 right? And then this happened. And you can go back and look at my videos. I was eating reds on this level, my friend. I was being destroyed, right? And then I started to realize, okay, I need to learn how to start selling the market, to know how to look for how to actually sell the market, because that's what's actually hurting me. Is because I've been used to buying, and not necessarily putting stops in place, right, and riding all the way up here. I don't really know how to trade, right? I had to be honest with myself. I didn't really know how to trade because it was just easy, right? And it wasn't organized. So, for example, even though price was going all the way up, I was still taking L's, right? And you would look at this chart and be like, how could you lose trades when it's just going up? Because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing. I'll be brutally honest and I'll tell you, I didn't know what I was doing. So once we had the situation, right, and this time round, because I was on YouTube, I was forced to figure out how to navigate this area properly, right? So roughly around, I'll say from around here was when I was like, okay, there are certain systems I can put in place to kind of help me out, right? And then obviously as it went up, it was nice and easy, and now that it's going down and I find myself being able to really navigate it moving downwards as we head down, right? Now I'm like, okay, cool, I think I've got what it takes. I think I've got what it takes to actually just make this something, like an actual real thing. So this is what I wanted to leave with you, and obviously just this little bit of rant that I've added in there as well, okay? Obviously some of you might like it, some of you won't, whatever, right? But either way, I believe that if price bounces from this level, it's not going to go above this zone over here, right? So let me just zoom in. It's not going to go above this level over here. If it does bounce up, chances are either it will come neck and neck with this level or just below, right? And then it will start to break back down again. And then if it does, this is what we're looking at for as we're heading towards the end of 2023 and as we're heading towards 2024. And then from 2024 we may start to get price start to push upwards again, right? That's just the vibe I'm going with. But one thing that I can tell you, the mistakes that I made in this area, I will never make them again. They will never happen to me again. That I can promise you. It will never, ever happen to me again. New mistakes in the future, chances are there's going to be a few, but they're not going to be like these ones over here. Okay, and that is something that I hope that you guys will obviously work your way towards and make sure that you're able to obviously what's the word I'm looking for, evolve and improve as traders, right? And also as well, in the description I've got a link for a bot that you can get, right, as well as a bot you can create. I recommend get the bot, right? Get the bot, but most importantly, try to reverse engineer the bot with your concept of as to how you trade, because that's what I'm doing as well. I've already bought the bot, and because I spend so much time tinkering around with it, it's like I'll be putting out like 5-hour videos. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm putting out 5-hour videos as to how I'm trying to configure everything so that it's in line with my actual trading strategy, and that is what I'm working on. I find that it is challenging, but I like it. I like it because I'm being challenged. I'm doing it myself, so I don't have to outsource it to anybody. I can do it myself, and it can be my property, my actual intellectual property. I can give it away, I can sell it, I can do whatever the hell I want to do with it, right? Because it is mine and it is my concept. So I encourage you all to go and take a look at that and see if you can do something with it, right? So on that note, awesome people from all around the world, this is the rules for next week. Really simple. We're waiting for a high or a low to be taken out. That's it. That is it. Nothing complicated. Nothing crazy. We're not waiting for an RSI to do a thing. We're not waiting for a MACD to do a thing. We're not waiting for a volume to do a thing. We're just waiting for a high or a low to be taken out. Once we get that, or once I get that, I will then know what I need to do and how I need to do it. So on that note, I want to thank you for coming over to watch another episode of NAS100 analysis today. I wish you the very best in all of your trades. Abundance to you all, because right now I'm in that abundance energy, so it's only natural that I share that with all of you, right? All you guys watching, I want you to get some of that energy too, right? Because right now we ain't taking no losses and it feels great, right? My confidence level is through the roof right now because we're not taking any losses. We're not taking any losses, and it's fantastic. So abundance to you all, right? And I'll see you in the next video, which should be hopefully very, very soon. So until then, this is Pips and Points signing out.